What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Let's talk a little bit about Manny Pacquiao. Now, Pacquiao's promoter, Bob Arum of Top Rank, recently did some interviews, and he says that Manny Pacquiao wants to fight for a title. And he's strongly pushing the agenda that Pacquiao can come back. However, he has revealed that Pacquiao will only come back if it falls in line with his Senate duties, meaning that's his first priority, training camp and all that other stuff for promoting a fight. All that comes secondary, so respects to that. But Bob Arum keeps telling the press that Pacquiao will be back, and Pacquiao's told me he wants to come back. They're targeting October, November for Pacquiao return. Now, a lot of people said Manny Pacquiao looked very sharp. He did look good versus Bradley. It was the third time, so I mean, he did look good. He left no doubts. He knocked Bradley down twice. But to me, I am more concerned with fighters of the class of Pacquiao, because he is an elite level fighter fighting fresh competition. Because I mean, if you're already an elite fighter like Pacquiao clearly is, you're a very good fighter, and you fight the same guy multiple times, the Eric Morales, the Marco Antonio Barrera, and the guys like Tim Bradley and stuff like that, Juan Manuel Marquez, you fight them over and over and over, you're gonna get each other's quirks. And no, that's how Marquez beat him in the fourth fight, because he fought him so many times. You know what I mean? Because he did in the fourth fight what he had not been able to do in 3 other fights. So 36 minutes times 3, right? So the point being is, it's good to see a fresh face, because you will get familiar with the person's style and things of that nature. So Pacquiao coming back is definitely good for the sport of boxing. I did videos about this, and oh my gosh. So when it comes to Pacquiao, some people say, oh, you're hating, Ego. I'm not hating, I just speak my mind, and that's not going to change. So I made videos like this: Manny Pacquiao versus Jesse Vargas, and why Garcia Broner say no chump change. A lot of people take stuff like this out of context to get mad, but listen to what's being said. The writing is on the wall. It sounds to me, because you notice every time with Pacquiao sweepstakes, there's all these names, and people get all excited. Oh, Amir Khan's a possible candidate. Oh, Terrence Crawford. Oh, Adrien Broner. Now they're throwing Danny Garcia in the mix. And then for some reason, those names slowly, one by one, Canelo, oh man, Pacquiao, Canelo. Fans get all hyped, and one by one, those names fizzle out, and then we're left with the real opposition, the real people that Pacquiao could possibly face. And it's usually not the first pick that the fans would want. So Danny Garcia turns down $3 to $4 million to face Pacquiao, the real scoop. And Dante's Boxing Nation did a video, an interview directly with Danny Garcia. He said, I never turned down the fight. I sent them a counter offer. And all of a sudden, now Danny Garcia is not into the equation. Same thing with Adrien Broner. Broner asked for more money. They said, we can't provide that. So I guess that no means no, you know what I mean? Arum, or Adrien Broner, said, fuck Bob Arum, pay me what I deserve. I made a video about this. I've covered this extensively. But my point is, these fighters and candidates, alleged candidates, keep falling out. Like, why do they keep falling out of the Pacquiao sweepstakes? That's not how business is conducted. Business is a negotiating process, meaning I send you an offer, I don't like that offer, counter offer, things of that sort, right? But for whatever reason, these opponents get eliminated very quick, like it's American Idol, Hollywood Week or something, and these people get eliminated, and then we're stuck with Jesse Vargas. The list that I heard currently from Arum is basically Postal, Crawford winner. If Crawford wins, then that'll be a good win for him. If Postal wins, that's a good win for him. But they have the same trainer, so I don't know how that logistics would work. Pacquiao versus Postal, and they both train in the same gym, the wild card. Obviously, Freddie Roach has made most of his career money with Pacquiao, so I don't see him siding with Postal in that. But I don't know. Maybe the guys are cool. I don't know what happens in their gym, so I don't know. Maybe they don't even want to fight each other. So the funny thing is, just like I tell people, and I don't understand why Pacquiao is not held to a different standard for being an elite level fighter. Floyd Mayweather's constantly, if he fights Berto after beating Pacquiao, the guy that a lot of you guys said would beat Mayweather, that's not good enough. Oh, Berto, 2-time world champion. It's still a fresh face, a young guy. Is it the best fight Floyd could have fought? No, nobody's saying that. But he just slayed the dragon of Pacquiao, which a lot of people said he was going to get knocked out by anyway. You know how many people, if I travel back in time, you know how many people were supposed to knock Floyd out? I even seen people say Maidana in the rematch was going to do Antonio Tarver to Mayweather. You know what I mean? Canelo, he was too big and too strong, and then he loses, and then all of a sudden he's too green. Oscar De La Hoya was gonna knock out Floyd. Cotto. I mean, it goes on and on and on again, and Floyd keeps proving people wrong. Back to Pacquiao. I did an interview with Troy King. He says Keith Thurman knocks out Manny Pacquiao, leaves him sunny side up. That was his opinion. And the funny thing is, Keith Thurman called out Manny Pacquiao. Keith Thurman calls out Manny, if everyone else don't want it, we can dance. And this was recently, July 16th. I made a video about it. 8,000 plus views, right? And all of a sudden, I'm not hearing anything. I made another video, 75,000 views. Keith Thurman wants Manny Pacquiao. He did an interview with TMZ. Wants Manny. Love to see contract with Pacquiao's name on it. June 27th. These are all recent videos, right? And the bottom line is, how come Pacquiao is not held to a standard of fighting? If he wants a world title, which is what Bob Arum is saying, and Danny Garcia, a champion, is allegedly asking for too much, and you don't think the fight's worth that, 3 to 4 million only, or whatever, that's the tops. Broner's not even a champion at welterweight. Then why wouldn't you be looking in the direction of a Keith Thurman, who just set a record for PBC, a couple records. He's in the top 3 of the attendance at the Barclays. Shawn Porter versus Keith Thurman was one of the most viewed PBC telecasts ever, and it is the highest viewed boxing event this year for regular TV, right? So Pacquiao fighting Broner and Danny Garcia, let's say they got diva mentalities, or hypothetically speaking, they're just asking too much, like some of the fans are saying. Oh, they want crazy amounts. They're not worth all that. What about Keith Thurman? I guarantee you, if you call Keith Thurman right now and say, I got 3 to 4 million for you, he'll probably take it, because in my opinion, his star power is probably, I'm not saying this is fair, but boxing isn't fair. But I wouldn't say his star power is bigger than Broner. So I'm not talking about who's more deserving or who's the better fighter. I'm talking about pure business and pure star power. And I don't think Keith Thurman's star power is quite up there with Danny Garcia or Adrien Broner. He's a hell of a fighter, great fighter. But I guarantee you this, he called out Pacquiao, offer him the 4 million. You know what I mean? And then that doesn't seem to be an option. So once again, it looks like we're stuck with Jesse Vargas. And I don't understand why, when it comes to Manny Pacquiao, it's okay for him to just fight whoever. Brandon Rios off of a loss, who was a 140-pounder who basically ate himself out of divisions and lost to Mike Alvarado in the rematch. Then he moved up in weight to 147 and fought Pacquiao, and he got dominated in Macau, China, right? Then Chris Algieri, a guy who barely beat Ruslan Provodnikov, who is not, I mean, he's beatable. We've seen that. Tons of guys have beaten him at this point, right? He looked like a cyclops, moved up to a catch weight, fought Pacquiao there. And people wonder why these numbers aren't great. The last time Pacquiao did great numbers, who was attached? Floyd Mayweather, right? And it's simply because of the level of opposition. If Pacquiao fights a young, strong, hungry lion, I guarantee you the numbers would be there. Danny Garcia, Adrien Broner, Keith Thurman. These are young, strong champions, 2 of which are undefeated, and Broner has 2 losses, but it was when he stepped up and fought bigger guys, Shawn Porter and Marcos Maidana. He would get all the respect in the world if Pacquiao, you know what I mean? Like, the funny thing is, when it comes to like Kell Brook, people are saying, oh, the fight with Golovkin, I have no problem with that. He's daring to be great. So Pacquiao could dare to be great at the tail end of his career, take on a young, strong guy. I mean, Floyd has done it. Floyd's older than Pacquiao. I believe he was about 36 when he fought Canelo. So why doesn't Pacquiao fight a Keith Thurman? And the funny thing is, we could go look right now, and you look at some of these videos and look at the comments about Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman. They say, oh, Pacquiao's going to destroy him. Easy work. So let's see the fight. Here, let me click on this since it has a good amount of comments. Someone says Broner versus Manny's better than Thurman versus Manny. I don't see that, but Manny too fast for him. Shit. If it was 2011, I'd say Manny would kill him. Laugh out loud. If that's how people feel, let's see it. This is a good fight because I personally don't see it. Pacquiao hasn't knocked anyone out since 2009. Can Pacquiao beat Keith Thurman? Absolutely. Will he destroy him? Easy work? I don't see that. Pacquiao would still beat Thurman by unanimous decision. All Thurman really has is a puncher's chance against Pacquiao, right? Okay. Wow, that 0 will be gone. 100. Okay, let's see it. You know what I mean? Why is there no pressure for Pacquiao? It sounds like an easy victory over Keith Thurman. He called you out more than once on TMZ and on Twitter. I made videos about them both. Keith wants to fight everyone now because he beat Shawn Porter. Pacquiao been staying away from punchers since Marquez put him to sleep. Manny Pacquiao would make tons of money against Canelo, enough to retire peacefully. Hey, Ego, and to the boxer out there, enough of Manny Pacquiao, please. He is done in boxing career. I mean, well, that's not what Bob Arum's saying, so that's why people keep bringing up his name. Let's see Mayweather fight Thurman. Mayweather's a chicken. But again, Floyd has already fought the young, strong. Victor Ortiz is a big welterweight. At that time, he'd come off the biggest win of his career, Andre Berto, a fight he was expected to lose because Berto was undefeated and a puncher, speedster, been knocking out guys like Jan Zivic and other people that he fought, right? So, to me, it's crazy. Pacquiao's the infinite stamina cheat code. I mean, if that's the case, if that's how people feel, let's see the fight. You know what I mean? That's the thing with boxing. Like, we're talking about a boxer with another boxer. Pacquiao and Keith Thurman, they are in the same sport. This is not Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, where Conor McGregor has Dana White to answer to and Mayweather's his own boss, and they're in two different disciplines. We're talking about Pacquiao and Thurman, and people making these excuses. Bob Arum already says he's willing to work with Al Heyman. He says Al Heyman was not at fault for making the Broner fight collapse. He specifically said that. You guys could do your research on this. So I'm not understanding this when it comes to Pacquiao. I think that's a good fight for him. I think he could beat Thurman. I don't know if he would, but I think it's a possibility. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know shit about boxing, though. You know what I mean? So they're, oh, Thurman's getting destroyed. I got to see that. At this point, I would have to see that. People talking about what Luis Collazo and Porter hurt him to the body. Pacquiao's not a body puncher. So, you know what I mean? You can automatically eliminate that. So, once again, early ego thoughts and predictions. I think this man will likely fight Jesse Vargas, like I was telling you guys. It's just the oldest top-ranked trick in the book. It sounds like it's going to be Jesse Vargas. Pacquiao saying he wants to fight for a title. And Jesse Vargas has a title that he just got through a vacancy. So I really feel like it's going to be something like that. I mean, but if Pacquiao wants to... A lot of people, see, when it came to Mayweather, they want to say Mayweather's legacy, if he didn't fight Pacquiao, was trash, and he didn't want to test himself, and he always cherry-pick, or whatever. But Pacquiao's fighting a lot of opponents and they're recycled, like Bradley. That was the third time. I already thought you beat him twice. Why do I got to see that again? You know what I mean? So you beat him a third time. Great. Congrats. Like, you know what I mean? I had a boy in Madden, and he was just, all he did, he didn't have no job. I had a job. You know what I mean? All he did was play Madden. So he was good. He would buy like strategy guides and all types of shit. He would like flake on his girlfriend to play Madden. I mean, he was like about that life, really a diehard Madden person. Every time I played him, he beat me. Okay, you beat me. You beat me 3 times in a row. Can we get something to eat? Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what it is. If Pacquiao wants to get some of the pay-per-view numbers as old, then you got to pay one of these young, strong lions, like the Danny Garcia or the Adrien Broners, right? Because those guys have the profile where their name mixed with your name is going to generate you a lot of money. It's going to generate a lot of eyes and a lot of interest. People are even buying the Kell Brook versus Golovkin based on the ticket sales. So imagine Pacquiao versus Broner. You know what I mean? Do I think Broner would beat Pacquiao? No, I don't. But I would still watch it. And I know if fans watch Canelo versus Khan, who's not going to watch Broner versus Pacquiao? The buildup alone is going to sell the fight. Same thing with Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia might not do a bunch of trash talking, but his dad at least would. He'd be like, I speak the truth. Pacquiao. Like, you know what I mean? It'll be a fun fight. Angel will go ham. And if you don't want to pay somebody like that, let's say, oh, they're asking for too much, even though we all know that those are bigger fights than Jesse Vargas. What about Keith Thurman? I'm sure he would probably take it. And people are acting like Thurman's name doesn't even exist. And they're leaving comments like, oh, this man, Pacquiao's going to destroy Thurman. Let's see it. So, again, I think it'll be Jesse Vargas. I'm obviously not with Top Rank. I'm not a promoter, so I can't tell you 100%. Maybe they have other plans, but the writing's on the wall and all signs are looking like Pacquiao versus Jesse Vargas, which is the least admirable fight for me. Like, I would rather see Crawford Postal winner I'd rather see Broner, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, all of those fights over a Jesse Vargas based on the stylistic matchup. And that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Not too long ago, Jesse Vargas, he's a good fighter, and he has a good win, coming off a good win. But I don't know who he could beat. That's why a Kell Brook fight would have been perfect, because Kell Brook is actually, even though he's a champion, he's kind of untested too. You know what I mean? Because since Shawn Porter, he's been on cruise control with his level of opposition. That's why I wanted to see that fight. So that would have been a good, meaningful fight. We know Vargas is tough, but does he have the skills to beat a guy like Pacquiao? Another southpaw he fought in recent memory at a higher weight was Antonio DeMarco. DeMarco was used to fighting at like 140. He moved up, I believe, in that particular fight, and that was a good competitive fight. Broner trashed DeMarco, you know what I mean? And when we're talking about southpaws, we're talking about one of this generation's best, if not the best southpaw in boxing, you know what I mean, the last couple 10 years or whatever, in Manny Pacquiao. So I still have to see more. Saddam Ali, that was a solid win, but I got to see more, you know what I mean? Because not too long ago, you were losing 11 rounds to 1 against Timothy Bradley, a guy Pacquiao just beat. And it's not about triangle theories. I'm just saying what I've seen. Antonio DeMarco, same thing like that. So Jesse Vargas has to show me more to build an interest. Like if he beat Keith Thurman or something, hell yeah, give him the fight. If Jesse Vargas could beat like a guy like that, then hell yeah. I don't know if he would even beat Broner. He might. I don't know. I got to see him. So let me know what you guys think. But to me, it sounds like Pacquiao will likely fight Jesse Vargas. Let me know what you guys think. I think Keith Thurman would be a much better offer. And I think he'll probably take whatever money that Danny Garcia. I mean, he said he would. I mean, in the tweet. I mean, do I have the new media? Y'all want the new media? Okay. The East Coast ain't got love for Dr. Dre and Ego? Let it be known then. Shit, I gotta show you guys this stuff. Well, let it be known then. We know where we at. This new media, cuz. 9-4 plus 5 penny. Add that shit up, nephew. So Keith Thurman, verified Twitter account. Bow. I did a video about this. Make sure you check it. Hey, Manny Pacquiao, if everyone else don't want it, we can dance. Let's give the fans a real prize fight. Hashtag one time. And he posted this on all of his social media. So, I mean, if Broner and Garcia are pricing themselves out, and it's out of the question to assume that Pacquiao can get 20, 25, 30 million, and they can get something more than 3 to 4 million, what about this man right here? And I don't see why the fans aren't pressuring for these style fights. People want to see fresh fights, especially if Arum is working with Heyman. It's not that hard. You guys settled your lawsuit, buried the hatchet. When he buried the hatchet with De La Hoya, they made a couple of fights. You know what I mean? I think Mauricio Herrera versus Jose Benavidez, I think, was one of the first fights they did together when Oscar De La Hoya fired Richard Schaefer or whatever they did, and then Golden Boy worked with Top Rank. So let's see this. Keith Thurman. Is there anyone in the comment section who would rather see Jesse Vargas over Keith Thurman as an opponent for Manny Pacquiao? You guys let me know. I'm out. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.